Welcome everybody to another edition of WCW 2006 here on TEW IX, and we're getting rolling with the beginning of the show as Ken Anderson music hits to a big pop as he comes out into the ring, and he says, well, did you miss me? And he has, that reaction tells me something. It tells me that even though some people around here think they're the best wrestler in the world, some people think they make the rules, and some people think they can take me out, and that'll be another. The truth is, they didn't get the job done. Doctors, trainers, FCC officials, they all told me the same thing. Ken, maybe you should take some time off. Ken, maybe you should rest up. Ken, maybe you shouldn't be getting back in the ring so soon. And every single one of those people, I said the exact same thing. You must have me confused with somebody else because I'm Ken Anderson. I am an a-hole. So instead of laying at home, instead of resting up, instead of listening to all that Dr. Mumbo Jumbo, I told them to point me to the ring. And the reason I want to be in this ring is right now and simple. I've got one thing to say to Eddy freaking Guerrero. Eddie, you took your shot. You tried to put me out. You tried to make sure I never came back. You hit me with that cold shot briefcase. You spiked me on my head, and yet here I am, still talking, still standing, because I'm too tough, I'm too damn stubborn, and I still got 4 limbs, head, and some big old balls, so I'm still ready for a damn fight. Now I'm going to be honest with you. AJ Styles, I know you're out there somewhere watching, and I gotta admit, I laughed my ass off when you shoved that guardrail one after Eddie 2 weeks ago. Sitting home in Green Bay, nursing my injuries, watching that happen, that was some good TV. But AJ, I need you to hear me loud and clear. Before you get your hands on Eddie, I've got some unfinished business. See, I don't let people put me down without consequences, and when I have a debt to collect, I always make sure people pay the hell up. That means Eddy Guerrero, you and me, next week right here on Nitro. I don't care if you're feeling good, I don't care if you're walking into Halloween Havoc, as you're the smartest guy in the room. I don't care if Bischoff or anybody else tries to stop it, because I'm telling you right now, man to man, face to face, I want you in that ring right now. And to be perfectly clear, Holmes, you might be the Latino Heat, you might be the call shot holder, you might be the guy who's played the game better than anyone else around here, but next week you don't get to run, you get to cheat, and you don't get to slither your way out of it. You get one thing only, a reality check. So there you go. Good promo. Ken back gets a 92. Anderson coming out and doing the promo gets an 86. Good stuff here as we start off on Nitro. And then we go to the ring for our opening match, which is Tank Toland versus Chris Harris. And basically, this is, great wrestling, good heat. Harris and Toland fight off. Harris gets the advantage early, but eventually, James Storm, eventually Simply Johnny Devine comes down to ringside. That brings James Storm's out, and we get a, big old mess of an ending. Eventually, Devine's able to drill Harris, and that's, basically, you hit the, next step on the ropes, and that's enough for Toland to hit the quick tank turret and pick the victory here on Nitro for Chosen, as we get a wrestling rating of 83, crowd rating of 76, overall rating of 80. Toland gets an 88. Chris Harris gets a 78. Good stuff. And post-match, the Chosen back away to the boos of the crowd as this gets a 68. Then we go backstage where Jeremy Borash is with Sonny, Siaki, Cash Aries, and Misty. As, Sonny Siaki takes the mic and says, Now, Jeremy Borash, Sonny Siaki knows why you're standing here, microphone in hand, about to ask Sonny Siaki something about tonight. But Sonny Siaki already knows what you're going to ask, because Sonny Siaki sees all, Sonny Siaki hears all, Sonny Siaki is the brightest star of Nitro, and if you don't believe that, you are simply uninformed. Now, Jeremy, you see this man standing next to me, the man with the upside, the man who after tonight is going to prove every doubter, every critic, every so-called expert wrong. This man is Cash Aries, and he is, next to Sonny Siaki, the only man with the kind of potential that people in WWE wish they had. Now, let's be real for a second. We all know Lance Storm Wright, so-called tactician, the serious wrestler. We get it. You like to wrestle. Big whoop. Right after Cassidy takes care of you tonight, nobody will be able to argue that you belong in the same building, let alone in the same ring as Sonny Siaki. And then Misty episode says, Sonny's right. I saw the talent, the skill, the charisma, and Cash Aries before anybody else. And only when since I made the connection, see success, full success. And tonight, when Cassidy beats Lance Storm, it'll just be another sign that we are moving up the ladder while Storm are being left behind. And Cassidy steps into this Lance Storm. People want to actually some sort of measuring stick. Man, I am the measuring stick. I don't need to be all stiff and serious. I don't need to lecture people about pure wrestling. What I need is my hand raised at the end of the match, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And when I do realize that Misty, she was right all along. And then Sonny Siaki steps in and says, Jeremy Borash, once Cash Aries wins tonight, only thing left to do is sit back and take a deep breath. Accept that Siaki is the future, and the future, it's looking real. Siaki. Decent little heel promo. 61, not great, but, rated these people, and they're getting more over. Just got to do that. And I believe, yeah, okay. So then we have an in-ring promo as Captivation comes down to ringside. And Eddie Guerrero takes the mic and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes on the most elite unit in women's wrestling today, the most dominant, the most captivating group in this division. And if any of you had the brains to match your awful fashion sense, you realize tonight is just another night. Tonight is a return form of Captivation." And like he takes the mic and says, "Oh, don't act like you don't love us. We're everything we should be: beauty, talent, power, intelligence, the full package. And tonight, remind everybody why this division belongs to us. So it doesn't matter who walks through the curtain, doesn't matter what little comeback story thing they've got. We're still a standard. We're still the ones in control, and we're going to prove it tonight." And then big pop as Tricia Skye's music hits. Out comes her and Lizzy Dumas down the ring, and the match is on. And then we have the actual match itself, which is a actually solid match. Kind of need to rebuild Tricia and Lizzy a bit. They've been off TV and done some jobs before that. But solid match here, like Captivation. So Grable's still solid. Lexi James is, still getting better. But in the end, Skye hits the sky's the limit. Lizzy hits the big moonsault on Penny Grable. 1, 2, 3. Tricia and Lizzy get the win in the return. Wrestle rating of 64, crowd rating of 64, second rating of 68. Lizzy gets 63, Tricia gets a 69, Lexi gets a 58, Penny Grable gets a 64. Then post-match, the Captivation all argue post-match with Lexi yelling at Penny and Desiree trying to keep things, sort of like on an even keel, which is weird for her. But eventually, Lexi just walks away as Penny looks out pissed at her. So, yeah. If I'm being honest here, this version of Captivation really never work the way that I wanted. Penny was, okay, but, she never got as over as I needed. She had that little, a title contention run, but her promos and such, especially after the move over to 9, really just, failed. And in the long run, you're going to see what happens here. But anyway, we move on here on Nitro. As we're backstage with Ric Flair, with Claudio Cesaro and Blaster Lashley, as Flair's like, "Boys, listen to me. I've been around this business longer than anyone. I've seen the greats come and go. I'm in the ring with the toughest, meanest, and most vicious wrestlers the world have to offer. And you two, you've got what you can be legends. You have the size, you have the strength, and you with me in your corner, woo, you got the wisdom. So tonight, we go out there and we show exactly why Evolution is the future most dominant force in WCW today." As Flair's about to continue, we see Stacy Keibler walking in, and Stacy's like, "Wow, Stacy. Wow, Rick, so passionate. But let's be real. You talk a big game, but your boys, they're invincible, and see, my boys, they don't lose. So I thought, let's be civilized. Why don't we make a little arrangement about tonight? We both have a common enemy who got involved in our match. So let's just go out there, take care of them, and then we can face off, and we can walk out the winners once again." And Flair's like, "Oh, I see what you're going on here. You want to cut a deal, huh? Stacy, baby girl, let me explain something to you. I've been making and breaking deals before you even know how to put on a pair of pants. So let me make something easy for you. No deal." Stacey's like, "Fine. Don't be surprised when you regret it." And they leave, and Flair's like, "See what I mean, boys? Everyone wants to play dirty, but I wrote the book on dirty." So 55, not bad. Quick little promo. Oh, oops. Okay, that's interesting. So this is actually something new. So it says ratings penalty for being storyline development content without any storylines involved. So you actually do need a storyline for that to actually work. So that's interesting. And then we have Jacob absolutely destroying Paul Burchill. Paul Burchill already had a damaged kneecap, which I didn't realize until I borrowed him, but oh well. I mean, he can take a choke stand with a damaged kneecap. Glenn Jacobs is a, safe worker, whatever you think of his other qualities. But anyway, face first choke slam, it's over in a minute. Wrestling rating of 51, crowding of 57, second rating of 62, Jacob gets a 66, Paul Burchill gets a 35. Simple squash as you expect. And then, of course, he drills Paul Burchill with another choke slam. And then he takes the mic and says, looks, right in the mic, in the camera again, says, "That was not a message. It was not a warning. It was not a declaration. It was inevitable. Just like the destruction of everything, my path is inevitable." And that's why Noah has come. That's why Noah stood across from me willingly, because they all know what happens to the indestructible forces. When they meet me, they know the legends have fallen. They know what I have done. But it doesn't matter, because whether they walk forward or cower in the dark, everything ends. So a little promo, pushing things up. 77 for the part where he killed Burchill again, then 67 for the promo, 70 overall. Then we're backstage as Jeremy Borash is with Titus Tomko. And, basically, he Borash has to last week, he managed to pin Truth on a 6-man tag. And many are saying, Tom's like, many are saying, no, Jeremy, I'm saying, I pinned the Truth. Let's be honest, what happened last week wasn't a big shock or some statement. It was just another exposure. The Truth is nothing but a fraud. You all thought he was some kind of warrior, some kind of street soldier, some unstoppable force. But last week, I dropped him. I left him staring at the lights. And now the whole world knows what I've known for a long time. The truth is that there is no truth. And then, boom, out of nowhere, Truth smashes into frame with a big flying forearm, sending him suddenly backward into the interview set. Borash quickly gets out of the way as the chaos erupts, and we got a big old brawl as, Truth sends him into a production crate, and boom, big old tackle through, over a catering table. As then, Truth takes the mic and says, you want to talk about frauds, huh? Want to say my name? Well, guess what, Titus? Now you got my damn attention, and he walks away. So 63 for the promo, 74 for basically Truth attacking. Then the fight gets a 73. Again, this is sort of, I don't say time fillery, but kind of time fillery for Truth, as he's an upper mid carder, maybe you would say even a main eventer, a fringe main eventer, but not enough space for him at the moment. But he'll get there eventually. Plus, this will hopefully help Tomko get a little more over. Bad roll for Wright. Sorry, that's unfortunate. Anyway, we're backstage with Alex Wright. He's on his own backstage. As Alex Wright says, tonight is just another night. Tonight is about sending a message. You see, week after week, I hear these ridiculous discussions, these absurd claims about who's the best technical wrestler in WWE today. I hear the whispers about men like Shelton Benjamin, and Ja every day. And Ja, one day perhaps, maybe he'll be close to my level. That day is not today. No, tonight I remind the world that all the conversation about who the best pure wrestler in WWE is, they all go through me. Tonight I teach young Benjamin a lesson in respect. Until he runs around, climbs up the gold standard, and basking in the hype these fools in the audience have built around him. I am Das Wunderbar. I'm the standard. I'm the level that he hopes to reach one day. Tonight, he'll learn the same things, that some levels are just too high for men such as him to reach. 71, again, bad roll on the promo, but what can you do? And and then we have our next match, which is Lance Storm picking on Cassidy O'Reilly. Back and forth match. Storm does Storm things. Cassidy O'Reilly does Cassidy O'Reilly things. You sort of know how this match would go. But eventually, Sonny Siaki comes down to ringside. Argues with Storm that allows Cassidy to take over. But as Cassidy is, but as Storm actually takes back advantage, Siaki goes to actually interfere, but Storm gets out of the way. Siaki actually drills Cassidy O'Reilly. Boom, super kick, locks on the Kitty Maple Leaf, and with nowhere to go, Cassidy O'Reilly has to tap out in a little under 8 minutes. And WrestleMania of 62, crowding of 63, overriding of 73. Storm gets a 60, Cassidy gets a 63. Then post-match, Siaki goes after Storm, but Storm eventually drills Siaki with a super kick, and it looks like Cassidy is going to go and help Siaki, but Misty whispers something in his ear, and both she and Cassidy walk away. So Storm and Siaki fight gets a 57, and Storm drilling Siaki with a super kick, and Misty holding back Cassidy gets a 51, and this gets a 54 overall. And then we're basically backstage, as we're in Eric Bischoff's office, and then AMW come into the ring. And Storm was like, Bischoff, we ain't here to waste time. You saw what happened out there, man. We want him next week. Get Chosen in the ring so we can get in there and kick their ass. And Bischoff was like, no, fellas, I get it. I do. It's frustrating when a couple of punk kids try to pull one over on men such as yourself. Well, let's be honest. You really think this is the best way to handle this? And Storm was like, don't give me that crap, Bischoff. You know damn well the best way to handle this is that's by giving us that match. And they're like, we ain't asking Bischoff. We're telling you, give this Chosen next week. We're going out there and make sure they don't make it next week. And we're like, all right. You boys want Chosen next week? You got them. But let me add something a little extra to give a little extra spice to this match. Next week, it'll be America's Most Wanted versus Chosen. But I've already talked to Teddy Long. As you know, the next show after Halloween Havoc is Bound for Glory, which is a multi-brand show. And part of the multi-brand match is that there will be multiple teams going for the tag team championships. Whoever, against Sean O'Hare and Mark Jindrak. So next week, it'll be AMW versus The Chosen, a number 1 contenders match. Harris and Storm are happy with that, and the match is set up, and this gets a 74. And then we have a quick little promo from Morgan before the triple threat match, as basically, she says, tonight, another battle is to be fought. But before it begins, let me offer one final warning. A warning to those who still cling to the illusion that they have power in this company. We have purged the weak. We have crushed those who stood before us. Yet still those who never learn, those who defy us. Evolution and Ninkyo, you will suffer because you're not our equals. You are prey. We do not fight for pride. We do not fight for glory. We fight because of our nature to destroy. We fight because destruction is what we are made to do. So tonight, fight if you wish, but remember this, you do not fight for victory. You fight for survival. Quick little promo, nothing fancy here. And the actual match. Okay, not bad, 74. I'm actually going to see interesting if some people were helped by this match. Yeah, this was a car crash match, so chair shots, cane shots. In the end, what actually happens is Claudio Cesaro gets nailed with a double T move by the Nest through a table on the outside. Cesaro gets rolled back in. Lashley gets taken out and is unable to make the save. 1, 2, 3. The Nest get the win here on Nitro. Worst rating of 64, crowd rating of 68, overrating of 74. Lash gets a 43, Cesaro gets a 76, Kento gets a 62, Yang gets a 71, Prophet gets a 71, Roadrunner gets a 64. Lashley and Flair have great chemistry. Let me just see here. Okay. Selling, Charisma. Oops. Let's see here. All out. Selling. Interesting. Nobody was really helped by the match, but I think it really did help. Then post-match, Lashley and Flair check on Cesaro as the Nest stands triumphant, and that gets a 66. And then we have a Xavier Creed promo backstage, as, he has the Cruiserweight title with him. He says, Ray Gordy, you've been running your mouth for weeks now, talking about how you're the next big thing, how about you're tough for me, how you're taking this title from me. Well, guess what? I ain't running, I ain't hiding, and I ain't scared of you. I respect a guy who fights for what he wants. I respect who earns a shot, but you ain't earned nothing. All you done is ride Jamie Noble's coattails, talk a big game, then run wherever you get punched in the mouth. But guess what, Ray? Next week, there ain't gonna be nowhere to run. I worked too damn hard to get this title. Just some punk like you come take it from me. You think you're a pitbull, Gordy? You're some kind of machine. Next week, I'm gonna put that to the test. So show up, Gordy. Step up, be the man you say you are. Be the man that your father was. And when you do, I'll show what happens when a real champion puts you down. Basically setting up, the title match for next week. We have our Revolution recap focusing on Ray Leppan winning the US title, which gets a 73. And then we have our main event, which is either going to be like a 90 or like a 75. Okay. To be fair, this makes sense. I mean, 18 minutes is probably a little long for them. But yeah, great back and forth match. I mean, this version of Wright is a really good worker. The version of Shelton is already insanely good. So back and forth match, Wright tries to lock in the SDF. Benjamin gets out of it. Benjamin hits some suplexes, but eventually Wright fights back. Wright even goes for the double arm DDT late in the match, but Benjamin blocks it and actually turns into a Northern Light suplex for near fall. Back and forth, but eventually, boom, boom, boom. Benjamin hits the pay dirt out of nowhere and gets a huge pinfall victory over Alex Wright, setting up for a US title match right here next week on Nitro, as wrestling rating of 88, crowd rating of 79, and a sigma rating of 86. Wright gets an 85, and then gets a 90. And yeah, a slight psychology dip, but what can you do? But as Shelton, gets up and celebrating, boom, Alex Wright with a chop block from behind. He drills, Benjamin some few kicks, brings in the chair, picks him up, boom, double arm DDT on the chair, and he grabs the chair, and it looks like he's about to take apart Shelton Benjamin like he has men like Goldberg and others like Ken Anderson before. But huge pop as the lights go dim, and then Fallen Angels music comes in, and he comes down, rushes the ring, and Wright rolls out of the ring and backs away as the crowd pops, as the first part gets a 69, Fallen Angel making save gets a 77, and overall this gets a 78. So overall the show itself gets a 85. Okay. Yeah, we probably need one more hot promo. Probably should have just did a random Jarrett. If you notice, Eddie, Jared, and Bully Ray weren't on the show. Jared and Bully Ray could sort of we need to do the next step of what they're doing basically next week. And then Eddie, obviously, is a big show next week. I don't know. I think I'm running through these shows a little bit quicker than normal. So just let me know if you want more or whatever. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I did go too far, but anyway, regardless. Country report, 1.5 million, hurrah! A little more popular in Canada, and no media scrum, of course. So let's see here. Let's see here what it looks like here. Survey says, all that good stuff. Locker room tension. Mike, that's a bad idea. Power. Let's see here. James, it's Ric Flair. A. B. It's Ric Flair. C. It's Ric Flair. So, Nitro, yeah, we got a, where are we? 1.8. Raw got a, oh, right, because they're in Australia for some reason. Anyway, let's look at this show. Test defeated Viscera. Little Michael Murray defeated Adam Jacobs. Teddy Hart, Sandman, and Maven defeated CM Punk, Juice, and David Flair. JBL defeated Matt Classic. Edge defeated Joey Matthews. Randy Orton defeated Devon DeBoy by DQ. Sure. And Batista and The Undertaker defeated Gladiator and Steve Richards in an 83. Interesting. But yeah, so sort of a big show set up for next week because we got the U.S. title match against Ray Leppan, I guess. We got the Cruiserweight title match. We got AMW versus Chosen, and who knows what else might happen next week. Oh, and Anderson versus Eddy. Ooh, I might actually, I might do some post-show moving around of some of those because we probably don't need both Leppan and Shelton and Eddy Ken next week. So I might make an excuse where Leppan like talks his way into moving the. Yeah, okay, that's fine. But anyway, I'll be back in just a moment with Revolution. And now, everybody, welcome to Revolution, live from Bossier City, Louisiana, just down the road from where War Games and Fall Brawl will be Fall Brawl, but Halloween Havoc will be happening in New Orleans, Louisiana. And the show starts out with the Thrillers coming out to the boos of the crowd, as basically, the Thrillers come down to the ring, as Palumbo takes the mic and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome." Because last week, the War Games... sorry, lost my train of thought here. Because last week, those guys decided want to mess with the Thrillers, want to spin into our domain, they want to play our game, and well, look what happened. Tony Santarelli got sent through a damn window, and now, let's just say he won't be making Halloween Havoc. And they were like, accidents happen, right? I was like, hey, exactly, nobody can prove we did anything. Tony Santarelli was just clumsy. Really unfortunate, he just fell through a window. Everybody laughs and crows because they're evil heels. And then out comes Kanyon, Angle, London Evans down the ramp. And Ken's like, oh yeah, real funny, real convenient how he just happened to find himself through a damn window last week, huh? Okay, go ahead and laugh it up. Whole damn crowd knows it. Hell, people in the middle of Mongolia knows you bastards did it. But see, here's the thing. You attack one of ours, that just means revenge is going to be sweeter. We get you inside War Games at Halloween Havoc. I was like, oh yeah? What exactly are you going to do about it? You're the ones with a problem now, because even because my math's correct, you're still one man short. And I was like, oh, you don't worry, we got a partner. Oh yeah, you can pull somebody out of catering, maybe some washed up brother from WCW's past who needs a paycheck. Who you got to back you up? And then boom, here comes Matt Hardy's music as he comes down to the ringside area. He says, Matt's like, surprised to see me, you should be, because for months, I've been back watching everything you've done to try to take over Revolution. I saw what you did to Santarelli. Hell, I saw what you did to my own damn brother when you put him on the shelf for those damn concertos a couple months back. But guess what? Now look at the guys done trying to stay out of this fight. When I saw Tony Santarelli out, I went straight to Kurt and Kane and said, you don't need to look any further because you got a damn partner who can go to the extreme. So Matt Hardy's now part of the War Games match. And Paul was like, all right, go on in, fine, but hope you know what you just signed up for. And there's a big stare down as the announcers put over it's going to be a 6-man tag. Later tonight, have Paul London, Jack Evans, Matt Hardy versus Palumbo and the One Percenters. So yeah, this gets an 83. Not quite as good as I hoped for. Thrillers go to 69. I probably just rated some people I shouldn't have. Babyface responding got an 85. Thrillers fire back. Matt Hardy comes out, gets 75. And the Matt Hardy promo itself gets an 80. Unfortunately, Angle's likely to exceed. Angle was a failure, but everything else went well. And yeah, we go straight to our opening matches. Of course, Austin Aries and Cash Aries, Rey Mysterio and Chavo Jr. And this is basically just a pure 4 top level wrestlers going right after each other, right from the start. And Rey Mysterio Jr. and Chavo look good, being the veterans here and being former being both having tag title reigns in their past, not with each other, but of course Chavo with Alex Wright a while ago, and Rey Mysterio with Matt Sydal this year. Aries, of course, is the cocky heel. Cash gets to play sort of like his bully cruiserweight a bit. Chavo fires back, things break down. Eventually, a turnbuckle comes off. Aries is able to drop Rey on the turnbuckle, hit the quick brainbuster, use ropes for leverage, and get the pinfall victory right here in Revolution in a little under 13 minutes. the wrestling rate of 77, crowd rating of 68, overall rating of 81. Chavo gets a 73, Ray gets a 93, Cash gets an 80, Aries gets a 61. Good stuff, as sort of like have to give Aries a bit of a win before the pay-per-view, obviously. And post-match, the heels celebrate to a 68. And then after that, we're backstage with Shane Helms with Billy Kidman. Shane Helms is basically on a bench, speaking right to camera, as Kidman is, basically in the back there. As Helms is like, I'm sick and tired of the damn disrespect. Tired of whispers that we ain't what we used to be. Tired of the jokes. Tired of people act like Shane Helms, Billy Kidman are just some guys on the damn roster. See, we are legendary. They've realized I'm the greatest United States champion in WCW history, the #4 world champion, the Billy Kidman has held more titles in WCW than half this damn locker room combined. But you know what? It ain't about the past anymore. It's about now. And right now, keep hearing talk people. Trevor Slater and Keith Walker are the future of this company. That they're rising stars. That they're next up. So here's what's going to happen. Slater, Walker, you improve yourselves, then you show up at Havoc. No BS, no outside interference, no weapons, just a wrestling match. Not because we didn't give a damn about the fans, not because we did a damn about what everybody in power thinks, because remind every single one of you out there who the hell we are. We are two of the best damn wrestlers WCW has ever seen. We've been to the top of the mountain, and we stayed there longer than most of you could dream of. And now, we're going to teach you two punks a lesson in respect. Subtle promo gets an 81, basically setting up, they want the tag match at Halloween Havoc, and that they're going to do it, just with their pure wrestling skill, no BS. Now, do we actually believe them? That remains to be seen. And then we have a quick little backstage segment as basically Aries and Cash are backstage, and they ready to talk about their featureless business, and either Ray or Jr. or Chavo will stop them, and they prove that tonight at Halloween Havoc. It's going to be their night to prove that it's their time now, and Ray Jr. and Chavo can go off to San Diego and Texas and lick their wounds, because this is their show now. 61, not bad. And then we have I'm going to be honest here, a squash match because I had some extra time. Basically, I had 4 pretty big matches advancing stuff, but I didn't have enough time to do a 5th match. So here's Matt Sydal getting a win over Johnny Swinger. It says by submission, but it was with the Shooting Star Press. It took 5 minutes. It was basically a squash. Wrestling of 68, crowding 59, overrating of 70. Sydal gets an 80, Swinger gets a 57. Nothing fancy here. And post-match, Sydal celebrates to a 63. Then we're backstage as Amy Weber is with Booker T and Don Frye. And basically Amy Weber asked Booker and Frye about about their thoughts on this match, and Booker T's like, Amy, let me tell you something right now. I've been doing this a long time. I've fought every kind of dude in this business, big man, fast man, crazy man, but RV and Keen Sharp, they're opponents. Now they're 2 SOBs who need a good old fashioned ass whooping. And I ain't here to play games. I'm here to be nice. See Keen Sharp, that fool trying to brainwash my wife, trying to get her to walk the path, whatever nonsense he's trying to talk about. And RVD, I respect what he can do in the ring, and we should be partners. The dude thinks he's God gives wrestling. So tonight, about teamwork and about chemistry. Me and Frye, we ain't gotta like each other. We ain't gotta be friends. Ain't gotta be boys. What I do is whoop some ass. And Don Frye's like, he has it right. I ain't here to make friends either. Hell, I don't even like talking this much. But let me tell you something. I don't trust a man like Keenan Sharp. I don't trust a man talks like some wannabe preacher trying to convince folks to walk the path. That's my style. In RVD, that dude turned his back on me. Heyman told me he needs somebody to watch his back while RVD was gone. I did the job, and the second Van Dam shows up again, what happens? He throws me to the damn wolves. That don't sit right with me. Booker said it best. We don't need to be friends, don't need to be partners. We just need to go out there, put our fists through some skulls, and walk out standing. And Booker T stuff says, can you dig that? So short little promo, gets a 70 because I rated Don Frye, honestly, but fun stuff. And then we come back from commercial, and we get basically like an over the top, balloons, a banner, all sorts of thing, as Ray Leppan comes down to the ring in a suit with the U.S. title over his shoulder, and we get like a banner that says, the international star of WCW, all that fun stuff. And, he takes the mic and says, my people, finally, the era of Ray Leppan has finally begun. I told all you pathetic American wrestlers that I would become your new United States champion once again, and what happened? I walked in the ring, and I walked out with this. My championship, my United States title. I know you all be wondering, what's next for Ray Leppan? Who will be my next victim? Who will be set next to fall at the hands of the biggest international star in WCW today? See, that's why exactly I have no respect for you people. Here I am, standing before you as a man of class, a man of distinction, a man of greatness, and you people respond with ignorance and disrespect. It is disgusting. As Leppan is about to continue, AJ Styles' music hits to a big pop, and, AJ comes down to the ring, and, AJ takes the mic and says, you done, Ray? And Leppan's like, excuse me? This is my moment, Styles. So this is a celebration. Who do you all think you are interrupting me? And he's like, you wanna know who I am? I'll tell you, I'm the face that runs this place. I'm the man who's held every major title in this company. I'm the guy who has headlines more to city pay-per-views than you've had hot meals. And let's be real, Ray. This ain't about your moment. This is about me not being on Havoc because Eddie keeps on getting my business. And since you're standing out here all dressed up, patting yourself on the back for winning the U.S. title, I figured you're the perfect person to talk to. I was like, me, AJ, I don't know if you know this, but I've already won a title. I earned my spot, so I don't need to worry about your problems. And he's like, oh, I know. That's why I came out here. Because I also know that since you just won that title, you're not booked Halloween Havoc either, since there's a number one contender and a lot of fun backstage stuff. But don't get me wrong, AJ. Don't get me wrong, Ray. I don't want that U.S. title. Not because it doesn't matter, but because I want to done something bigger, the world title. Before I get there, I need to remind everybody in that locker room who I am. And if you want to prove you're the next big thing in WCW, why don't you show up at Halloween Havoc and try to beat the last next big thing, AJ Styles? And Leppan's like, let me get this right. You, AJ Styles, want to face me, Ray Leppan, Halloween Havoc? And Leppan's like, you're serious, aren't you? And Leppan's like, oh, well. Look at this. AJ Styles, the great AJ Styles, the man who calls himself face in his place, the former world champion, coming out of my ring, interrupting my celebration, asking me for a match at Halloween Havoc. And Leppan pauses for a moment and says, you're on. And then, Leppan says, don't for a second, I'm the push over AJ. You're right. I am the next big thing. And at Havoc, I'm going to prove it. You're not people who you are, fine. But I'm going to remind you that your time at the top is over, and mine is just getting started. And AJ extends his hand, and Leppan just lets the mic says, nice try, AJ. I'm here to shake hands. I'm here to make statements. And Leppan leaves the ring. 91, really good stuff. And yeah, that sets up the match for Havoc officially. So yeah, this is called, well, you'll see. Yes, I know U.S. titles are not on the line. There we go. I think that's the full card. 6, 7, 8, 9. I feel like I'm still missing a match. World title for RVD, Jeff Grash. Women's tag, Aussie Ray, Booker Sharp, AJ Leppan. I'll figure it out afterwards. Anyway, 91, good stuff. And then we have our triple threat. Ooh, that was unfortunate. The big game will finish with a failure, but not the end of the world. We have a triple threat match, basically previewing the women's tag triple threat match at Halloween Havoc. As we got Wesena Busic, Alli Danger, one half of the tag team champions, Alyssa Alexander, all in the ring. And we got a big old brawl right from the start. And eventually everybody gets involved. We have, we have Alexa Blight going after Wesena Busic. We have Angel Fox coming and attacking Danger after she goes in with a what's the word I'm looking for? In with a kendo stick going after Alexander. Then we have then we eventually have Molly Mann coming in hitting a big spear and the big German suplex on Alexander, and Busic able to hit the Tiger Bomb on Alexander to pick up the win a few days before Halloween Havoc. WrestleMania at 63, crowd rating at 56, segment overall 67. Alli gets a 64, Wesena Busic gets a 65, and Alexander gets a 61. And this, of course, leads to a big old brawl after the match before the officials break things up, as the announcers put over the match at Halloween Havoc. Which is, okay, so Styles Leppan, I'm sure if I checked, I'd figure it out, but I'm not that, upset about things. Anyway, 63, good stuff. And then we go backstage where we see Monty Brown is in a graveyard. He's, in a hoodie, jeans, and boots. And Monty looks around basically unimpressed with a cocky grin. And, Monty's like, am I supposed to be scared? Is it where I'm supposed to shake my boots, look over my shoulder, and beg my mercy from so-called Dark Messiah? This? No. I don't buy any all this spooky BS Judas. I'm going to do shadows. I'm going to creep you through the night. I'm going to do whispers and threats from the dark corners of the world. And then he turns over and smashes the tombstone, kicking it over. I do domination. I do destruction. I do pain. Look at all these names, all these gravestones. It's reminding me of me. It's reminding me of everyone that's come before you and thought they could take my title. I ran through AJ Styles. I ran through Goldberg. I've run through everybody put in front of me from the moment I've shown up in this company. Each and every one thought they had the answer, thought they could stand in front of me and take what's mine. And just like them, you will fall Messias. Just like them, you will crumble. Just like that, you realize there's another name, another man, another body left in my wake. And then he kicks over another tombstone. But I get it. I get Messias. You want to be different. You want to be the one that stands back up. You want to be one that doesn't stay down, one that keeps coming with them around you. Judas, I put you on the ground before. Sounds like deathmatch. Bash at the beach. Everyone thought that was it for you. Everyone thought I put you down for good, but nope. You got back up, and you came back, and now here you are thinking you're different. But you know what the difference is, yes? This ain't Bash to the Beach. This ain't Sunset Days method, just Halloween Havoc this time. Where I put you in the ground, there's not going to be getting any backup. This is my kingdom. This is my Serengeti. And this is a place where I show every single person watching this, I am the baddest man on the planet. I'm the King of City. I am Monty Brown. And you, Messias, you're nothing but my next victim. You're just another body waiting to put down. You're just another man who doesn't understand that when I say it's over, it's over. And he knocks out another tombstone as it shatters. Just, this Sunday is not tricks. It is about darkness. It is about mind games. It's about pain. It's about power. It's about dominance. It's about me stepping in that ring, show you once for all, you don't belong in my world. Halloween Havoc, you walk into my Serengeti, you step in my ring, and the last thing you're ever going to hear is the sound of the crowd roaring, the sound of me laughing, the sound of me pummeling your ass on the ground, and the direction is going to be hitting. The sound you're going to hear is going to be me hitting the pounce as he knocks over another graveyard. 78, good promo, basically, setting things up for the pay-per-view. Getting one last word and all that good stuff. Let me check something. Yeah, okay. And then we have a backstage segment where we're backstage with Paul Heyman, RVD, and Keenan Sharp. And, Heyman's with, talking to Keenan Sharp. And he says, listen up. I got nothing personal with you, but I don't want any confusion tonight. You can talk all your new age, mumbo jumbo, cult leader, and BS that you want. But when you step in that ring tonight, there's one and only mission: destroy Don Frye and Booker T. I don't care if you want to show him the path or walk the light or whatever the hell you do in your free time. What I care is making sure that thick skull caveman doesn't even make it to Halloween Havoc, because Don Frye, he's pissed off. He's mad that we showed him he was no longer required, and I played him like a fiddle, and he's especially mad that he's going to step in the ring with two of the greatest wrestlers in the world tonight. But you know what that means, Keenan? It means you're not teaming with any already guy, you're teaming with Mr. Wednesday Night, Mr. Pay-Per-View, the number one wrestler in this entire damn business. And my name's Sip, and that's right, Paul. I was going to say that myself, but you've always been good at putting me over, so I'll let you keep going, bro. And Heyman just sort of looks over at RVD. So do you understand what I'm saying? Your job tonight, Keenan, is to follow the lead. You may think you're some kind of prophet, some kind of leader of men, but tonight you take the orders, you follow the path we set for you. I want to make sure that Don Frye doesn't walk in Havoc 100% or hell 50%. And King Sharp just nods and says, alignment comes in all different ways, Paul. Some find it through peace, some find it through faith, and some must be beaten to their lowest point before they see the light. I don't expect you to understand this, and I expect someone like Don Frye to understand this. But I will say this: if a simple-minded brute like Don Frye sends my way, then what be done to show him the true path. If that means I have to break him down, leave him shattered in the math, then so be it. And I was like, oh, that's like pretty deep, dude, like real yin and yang vibes. Balance and destruction, peace and veins. Man, I like that. Hey, Paul, come on. This guy's cool. Being Van Dam. And Dan's like, Rob, he's a lunatic. He's a creepy, culty psycho man who thinking he's leading people to some kind of enlightenment when really he's just manipulating them. And Rob Dan's like, so what you did at ECW, except with a little more incense? And he's like, no, not like me. Not like me. Do I have to look at chat in dark rooms? Do I start around meditating? No, I strategize. I manipulate for a reason. And Sharp's like, what is that reason, Paul? And Kim just sort of stops. You know what my reason is? It's about building the strong. It's about making Rob Van Dam the number one guy in WCW. And then ends up and says, see, that's where you and Sharp kind of differ, Paul. I think you're both kind of crazy. No offense, buddy. He's all Destiny and Fate and all that philosophical stuff, and you, man, about pulling strings and playing chess, you like being the puppet master. And it's like, no, don't worry. I appreciate the work you do, Paul. I'm just saying, if you and Sharp had a debate, I'd probably sit back with a chair and just watch that crap unfold, because that would be some wild stuff. And you're like, I don't care about Destiny. I don't care about past. I care about results. So just do the damn job tonight. And then after that, go chant Under the Moon or whatever the hell you do in your free time. And then Keenan just sort of smirks and turns to Van Dam and says, balance Rob, that's all that matters. And Van Dam's like, yeah, man, I get that. And he's like, what the hell is that, Rob? You don't shake hands with a lunatic. You don't respect the psycho. That's not how all this works. And I was like, come on, relax, man. What vibes, Me and you dealt with Taboo for years. He got his thing, I got mine, you got yours, it's all good. 80, fun stuff. Honestly, this was sort of the more fun stuff I thought, because when I realized Sharp it would totally be in the wacky yin and yang stuff Sharp does, that was where it was. And of course, Heyman is manipulator, Sharp manipulator, so there you go. Fun stuff. Only an 80 because the game did not realize the greatness of what I just did, but what can you do? I'm actually worried. Like, why didn't this... Okay, Sharp has a little morale, so, I mean, it is what it is. And then we have the Thrillers versus Paul and Jack Evans and Matt Hardy. And great wrestling, good heat. I mean, this is a very pre-pay-per-view six-man match. Back and forth match. Eventually, Palumbo just drills Matt Hardy with a chair as things break down and gets a pinfall victory here. Wrestling rating of 80, crowd rating of 75, overall rating of 80. Havoc gets a 71, Dice gets a 78, which is impressively good. Palumbo gets an 83, Hardy gets a 76, Jack Evans gets an 89, and Palumbo gets an 82. And then, as you expect, we get the beatdown as you expect, and then we get the big old brawl. As Kurt Angle and Chris Kanyon come down for the save. Kane goes after O'Hare, going with the brawl. Plummer then throws Kane throws him to the barricade. Angle slides into the ring and suplexes Havoc over the top rope. Dice tries to catch him off Angle, but Angle ducks. Big old German suplex. But things aren't over yet. O'Hare charges at Angle, but Kane is able to nail with a quick spear. Palumbo then tackles Kane, smashing him into the apron, but Hardy jumps on Palumbo's back. Evans comes down ringside, uses peaks, brings Rance off the ropes, and takes out Dice and Havoc with a big old moonsault to the outside. And then, Brawl continues up the rep, and Kane and O'Hare continues to fight. And Hardy and Palumbo spill into the crowd. Trying to call chaos, out comes security. Angle gets Dice into the ankle lock on the ringside area. And then, finally we get, all the referees and Rodians coming down. But we get the lunges and brawls and lunges and brawls. And, Angle and O'Hare stare down. Hardy and Palumbo shot on each other. Jack Evans staring down the one percenters. And, Kanyon, takes the mic finally and, screams, "See at War Games, you," and then gets a bunch of bleeps and a big crowd pop. And, things are all breaking down here at Halloween Havoc. This gets an 81, basically because I rated a bunch of the guys on fighting, but it's what it is. But fun stuff as we go into War Games. Oops. And then we get a Celine Cartier Junior Lawler hype video. We start focusing on Lawler's arrival as Kanyon's bodyguard way back in 2001. Her eventually showing up to the women's division as part of the big Golden Gauntlet a couple years back, dominating. Then Celine Cartier slow build up at the same time. Eventually turns Celine heel turn, winning the title. Jody's return to save Tricia and Lizzy, her winning the triple threat match, and now the showdown for the women's title. This gets a 72. This was really a case of all the I didn't want to have just one of our tag matches get tag people get squashed or have a random person up from Dev get squashed, because that wouldn't really matter. But also I didn't want them totally off TV, so here we are, this little thing, nothing, not the worst thing, not the best thing ever. As we move over to Halloween Havoc, we got our Nitro recap with the 74, and then we got our main event, which not as good as I hoped. Yeah, Booker's I think is still injured. Don Frye is not that great. Van Dam and Sharp both did well. So basically back and forth match as you expect. We get our Booker and our VD spots. Frye brawling with Sharp. We get some back and forth MMA spots between Sharp and Frye to put that over. Eventually things break down between Don Frye and Keenan Sharp. Keenan Sharp, Booker T as they start to brawl on the outside. And back in the ring, Van Dam goes for the big old 5-star Spark Splash. Frye rolls out of the way, and Don Frye locks on the rear naked choke, and Rob Van Dam immediately taps out before and keeps the hold on before the referee pulls him off. I think after it's put over, if that happens at Halloween Havoc, Don Frye will beat Rob Van Dam and prove he's a true threat in the top of the Revolution today. Decent match. Wrestling rating of 76, crowd rating of 79, overall rating of 78. Like I said, Frye gets a 67, Booker gets a 73, RFID gets an 84, and Keenan Sharp gets an 80. But that is not the end of the show. As we go back to the basically the graveyard, Monty Brown is talking to the camera crew, saying basically thanks for coming, but still talking trash about about how he's going to drop Halloween Havoc, about he's going to drop Messias on his head in this little horror movie that he's trying to play. It ends, and we get a big old brawl, and Judas Messias shows up out of nowhere, and the fight is on. And, big old brawl, fighting, forearms, fights, Monty tackles Messias into a graveyard. Monty, mounts Messias, writing down punches. Messias takes advantage, though, eventually throwing him off. Messias grabs him by the head and drives him face first into a nearby fence. And then, he then, hits a big boot. But Monty charges forward, tackling Macias into a Macias wall. And then, as Macias slowly gets up, Monty grabs a shovel and goes to drill Macias with it, but Macias gets out of the way, and the shovel clangs against a nearby gravestone. And, Monty then, Macias then throws Monty and throws him into a pile of rotting leaves. But then as he goes after him, Monty basically, gets a big boot to knock him down. Monty goes for the Russian and goes for the big old pounce. But Macias goes, basically ducks out of the way. Macias falls on the floor. And then Macias grabs him, choke slam into the grave. And the show ends with, basically the camera crew in pure panic mode as Monty Brown crashes into the grave. And we look down as Revolution ends with the little copyright mark with Monty Brown in a shallow grave. 75, unfortunately, not that great. Monty tucking through at 69. Monty Macias fighting gets 72. Judas sending Monty in grave gets a 72. So let me see here. Did anything hurt it? No, just like it is what it is. I mean, honestly, I thought it was better than that, but what can you do? Overall, the show gets us a 82. Okay, I mean, like, again, I think part of this is I'm still sort of building up. The thing is like a lot of my super over guys like Angle, Palumbo, Canyon are in the War Games match, and Booker and Frye are not as over as you think. Van Dam's slowly getting back there, and all that fun stuff. Styles and Leppan was a good way to end. Was a good hype job, but everything else, Monty and Macias are not great. I don't say great hype guys, but they are what they are. But still, not the worst show. I really hope one of those angles would really pop. I mean, I guess Styles Leppan did, but it could have been a little bit better. Again, I'm not that upset, but still slightly annoying. You know how it is. But yeah, let's just see. Survey says. And okay, yeah. Shane Helms, I mean, you're not wrong. So, sure. Sorry. Okay, so, as a quick little note here, so, storyline-wise, well, here, I'll just go over the full lineup for Halloween Havoc. So I did finally figure out what the final match was, and it was Shane Helms and Kidman versus Walker and Slater. But anyway, let's go over the full roster, full lineup. So, of course, for main event, or not main event, so we are editing this. Oops, how do I, hold on, how do I actually edit the lineup here? Regardless, this is not, of course, Tony Santarelli. It is Kurt Angle, Matt Hardy, Kanyon Poland, and Jack Evans versus the Thrillers in War Games. We have, of course, for the world title, we have Judas Macias versus Monty Brown for the world title. We have, for the women's tag titles, All That Alyssa Alexander and Angel Fox defending against Wesena Busic and Molly Mayhem and Alli Danger and Alexia Blake. We have, for the women's title, Selena Cartier versus Joni Lawler. We have AJ Styles versus Ray Leppan in a non-title match. We have Austin Aries versus Rey Mysterio Jr. We've got Booker T versus Keenan Sharp, last man standing. And we got Chavo Guerrero versus Cash. Don Frye versus Rob Van Dam, and Don Frye looking for revenge. And of course, as, basically officially set up, Helms Kidman, Legendary, taking on Keith Walker and Trevor Slater. So if we look at the storylines here, which are, if I can see them, there we go. Okay, so Cash or Carry is hot. Darkness and Light, which is the main event, is hot. Enlightenment's hot. Evolution and Revolution is hot. Expand Horizons is a little cold. Kill the Rays, very hot, which is interesting. Mercenary Moves is hot. Triangle is hot. Who They Think They Are is hot. And the US title mess is hot. So, yeah, nothing extremely hot at the moment, which is basically just, I think, unfortunately, War Games matches are hard to keep extremely hot unless you basically put your top 10 guys in there. But yeah, everything else is not that bad. But yeah. Then, as we look around the rest of the wrestling world, of course, WWE had... Oh, right. This is what happens when you don't do things all in one shot, is you forget what you did. So No Mercy was actually before Raw, which I should have put over. But anyway, it was a Raw only, not was a SmackDown show. So we had Danger Dragon defeating Adam Ortiz and Daring Doring in a 63. No real highlight from that. Road Warrior defeated Billy Rail, sure. Unfortunately for real, Crash Holly defeated Tony Kozina. John Cena and Tajiri, making his basically debut, defeated Spike Dudley and Johnny Gringe in a 71. We had Leon and Michael Murray, one half of the tag champs, defeated Val Venus in a 78. We had Veronica Vane retaining the women's title over Jamie Keys in a 67. We had Jackie Gay defeating Beth Phoenix in a 75. We had Laz, Shawn Michaels, and Justice, aka Abyss, defeating Cream, which is All Money, Aaron Cartwright, and the Outcast of Tommy Dreamer and Rhino. No real standout here. I mean, Michaels got 100, because of course he did. Then we had Christian defeating Billy Gunn. We had Matt Hardy defeating Albert and Scott Steiner in a triple threat for the IC title, which got a 74, which should have been fun to watch. We had Benoit defeating Skyfall Cave Lion in an 89. Of course, sure, randomly it was. And in our main event in a 4-way for the World Championship, which got a 99, because of course it did. Chris Jericho defeated The Big Show, Carnage Carnival, which is Homicide, and Brock Lesnar to retain the WWF title. I imagine, even though he's half of the tag titles, Homicide did the job here. But it's a very interesting main event, because, Lesnar got a 96, Jericho got a 99, Homicide got a 74, but Big Show still got an 89. But then, for SmackDown, I already went for Raw. We had Justice winning a squash, Billy Gunn winning a squash, Tommy Dreamer winning a squash, a Scott Steiner promo, a Brock Lesnar promo, Albert defeating Farouk, Jackie A defeated Beth Phoenix, Rikishi, Shawn Michaels, and Scott Steiner defeated Rhino, All Money, Aaron Cartwright, and Big Show, and the main event, Christian and Chris Benoit defeated Lion and Lesnar. So there we go. Let's see here. Right, if we look around, so if we first go to our Dev Fed, AWQ Weekly had Porsche Perez defeating Emmy Secret to retain the title. McCool, right, and yeah. Porsche's almost there, but I'll have to figure out a good gimmick for her. McCool and Taylor defeated Madison Sinclair and Collar Chambers. Madison's there, but unfortunately she doesn't have the other stats for it. And so Ray, Ashley Lane, and Tricia defeat Josie, Annette Blanchard, and Catherine Mendoza. And they all have a while to go. For, of course, NWA Wildside, we actually had a TV show, Fright Night, and then the Weekly House show. So TV was nothing fancy. For Fright Night, in front of 4,000 people, we had Elijah Burke defeating Sanjay Dutt. Dutt's getting closer, but still has a while. TJ Perkins defeated Paul Burchill. They both have a while. Morgan, Phoenix, and Danielson defeated Duarte, Brett Major, and Lance Hoyt. Danielson, I just have to get a good gimmick for him. Let's see here. And Toxic defeated Hot Stuff Fernandez. So there you go. And then on the Weekly House show, TJ Perkins defeated Andre Baker. Matt Morgan defeated Paul Burchill. And yeah, that's really about it of note. Let's see here. HWA, I don't think was really anything of note. Yeah, Matt Striker is still the champion. Savio Vega is there. So is Jimmy Jacobs. It's very wacky. And OVW is still doing OVW things, including having Daniel Puder as the champion. Danny Puder and Joey Ryan. It's almost like two terrible people. Yeah, it's interesting. So then, if we look at the rest of the wrestling world, at least since last week. So Embro had a good big show. I think I showed you guys this, but I just want to double check. So stuff that people might care about. Super Crazy defeated Tamura, who's a region, I believe. BJ James is there doing jobs to Wataru Inoue. Sure. Akira and Dick Toga defeated Bruce Beefcake and Takashi Sasaki. Again, sure. Great Suzuki and Jinsei Sasaki defeated Chad Collier and Gato. Kid Guzman defeated Hideo Nishida. And then Shibata defeated Hidaka in a match that would have been two guys just kicking the shit out of each other, which would be great. Let's see here. NWE had a big show. Main event is two people I've never heard of. Herman's, I think, was a longtime European guy. But yeah, not sort of like the people you'd imagine. All Japan had a big show. Still getting 13,000 people. I'm sure pretending that's a lot of being papered. But yeah, again, Chris Sabin is there. He's still on the pre-shows. Jim Steele and Johnny Smith are still your All Asia Tag Champions. Heinz and Barton are still your Unified Tag Champions. Nunzio is still your junior heavyweight champion. Oshama Nishimura showed up as defeated Harai. Hayabusa defeated Ishikawa. And Akartoe is back, and he defeated Taru. And then we had Kea defeating Shibata in the main event for Triple Crown, which got an 81, as Shibata has shown up basically, be part of, I think, the new stable, is if it's still there. Yeah. The All Japan Army of Hase, Kea, Yoni, and Fuji. Then we have Fujinami Gun, which is Nishimura, Shibata, Nakamura, Fujita, and Takiyawa. And then the other stuff that's still around. So that's interesting. Let's see here. Impact Wrestling. Hellraiser defeated Disco Inferno in ladder match. Architects defeated Shiver at Hurricane in Red. Lex Luger defeated Reeves by DQ. Funaki defeated Pat Buck. Senior defeated Sofia Veloquez, so nothing too fancy there. Let's see here. Kingdom had a big show. Main event was Miyamoto versus Ryo Saito and Kanda versus Nakamura. Seattle had Leyenda de Plata. It was main evented by Octagon versus Abizo Negro in a random 94. We had Shocker defeated Electroshock in a random 96. Mystico defeated El Hijo del Fantasma for the Leyenda Plata title. And earlier in the night, Mystico defeated Wagner Jr. and El Hijo del Fantasma defeated T.M. Bliss Jr. to set that up. And yeah, then even earlier in the night, we had Dr. Wagner Jr. defeating Aerostar, Mystico defeating Black Wagner, El Hijo del Fantasma defeating Lover, and T.M. Bliss Jr. defeating Nigro Casas. So basically, a ton of great matches here. And then we also Tarzan Boy versus Loki, because Loki is now a big star in Mexico, by the way. Anyway, Wildside, I went over that. ROH is, remember, Ring of Violence, and it's owned by Rob Black. Turn Acid, he's your top guy. Mike Quackenbush is there, going over Hansen, sure. Dave Mysterio, which is hilarious. But yeah, that's about it. Of note, No Mercy, Heat, SmackDown, Gaia. Yeah, okay. So that's where we are. Next show will be Halloween Havoc. And for that, we're on the road to Battle for Glory, and then on the road to beautiful Starrcade 2006, which I'll have a big announcement for at Halloween Havoc. But that's for now. If you enjoyed this, go and give it a like, comment below what you're liking and not liking, and of course, subscribe to the channel. For at least a series, if nothing else, other stuff may pop up. I've stopped making promises, honestly. But that's for now, so talk later, and adios. Have a good one.